Hey everyone, welcome back to 996. The Howl, man, might have been one of their worst losses of the season. I know they only have four, but it didn't start out that way. We'll jump right into it. It was a hard game to watch after the first 9 minutes of the game. It seems like the Coyotes played for 9 minutes and then said GG and left the game basically. So let's get into the first shot of the game. 30 seconds into the game, the arena was half empty. Everyone probably watching the Diamondbacks game or out having a smoke, not settled into their seats, maybe grabbing a snack, grabbing a pizza. But Michelli scores from Bukestad and Moser. Nice little 2-on-1 deception, shoots it. A lot of speed and open ice, which we found out went away really quickly after the first 9 minutes. And then 5 minutes after that 1-0 goal, the Kings tie it up. It's like, here we go. Going to be a back and forth. The Kings are never going to go away. But man, the Coyotes, bang, 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 get three straight goals. The first goal from Moser, assisted by Schmaltz and Keller. And then McBain scores from O'Brien and Stetcher while they were announcing that Moser goal. And if you think that's quick, oh, they're announcing the previous goal and the Coyotes score while they're announcing it. How about you score without even announcing the third goal? And that was Sean Dursey, assisted by Zach Sanford, and Vamelka gets an assist. I think it's the first time ever I've said that. I'm sure he's had assists in his career, but I can't even remember the last time I said that Vamelka got an assist. Now, if you heard Zach Sanford's name, what is he doing in the lineup? Lawson Krause and Travis Dermott, unfortunately, out with a sickness, illness. It shouldn't be too long. We're already without Zucker, who's week to week. We also recalled Yan Yannick, who didn't dress this game. I would have liked to see Yannick dressed on that fourth line instead of O'Brien. But what are you going to do? You know, Yannick's got to earn that spot in the lineup. So it was all gas, no breaks for the Coyotes. Up 4-1, all 5-on-5 goals for the Coyotes. 4 goals on 7 shots. It was blitzkrieg. It was balls to the wall, raw, punk rock style hockey, up 4-1. Obviously not sustainable. You're not going to win a game scoring 12 goals. But after that, the offense completely dried up. How fitting that they do play in the desert. They have to kill 2 back-to-back penalties before ending the first period. The first of those penalty kills, the LA Kings were in the Arizona end the full 2 minutes. The second penalty kill, pretty lackluster. The Kings outshot the Coyotes 11-0 in those last 11 minutes of the first period. And it continued in the second period. The LA Kings outshoot the Coyotes 5-0 to start the period. They had momentum. The Coyotes get a rare power play in that early second period. They fail at it. Cooley had a great chance in tight. Unfortunately, he shot the puck on the ice, and that was the only grade A chance the Coyotes had until like 6 minutes left in the game. The second period was all LA, out shooting the Coyotes 16-9. The Coyotes were hanging on to dear life. The LA Kings were dangerous every single time they stepped into the Coyotes zone. Vamelka was standing on his head, doing everything he could. I know at the end of the game his numbers don't look good, but Vamelka was playing amazing, doing everything he could. Just the team failed him. The Kings finally make it 4-2 on a power play goal. Now, when they made it 4-2, you got to realize the Coyotes are still up 2 goals. But in my head, I was like, please just get a point. Please just lose in overtime. I knew it was coming. The Kings just looked too good, and the Coyotes' offense looked inept. They weren't intimidating offensively. They couldn't control anything, couldn't sustain any offensive pressure whatsoever, couldn't get any shots. They had 7 shots in the first, obviously the 4 goals, only 9 in the second period and 7 again in the third period. The LA Kings were just out muscling. They played a more structured game after being down 4-1. They were giving the Coyotes no speed, no open ice, and the Coyotes couldn't adapt. And that's been a bit of a theme in these first 7 games of the season. If the Coyotes don't have time and space to use their speed, creativity, hang on to pucks, make creative plays, they're getting beaten because they can't play that style of playing the puck behind the opposing defenders and getting to work on the boards. seems like everyone wants to play this creative game. Maybe that's due to having, seeing Keller and Schmaltz do it, but they actually do it and are good at it and could execute and score. Whereas these other lines, maybe Cooley tries to do it, but maybe his line mates are not up for it. He was lined up with Carcone and Sanford tonight. Not sure what to even think about that line. Michelli with his usual Bukestad, and who else was there? Kerfoot. Kerfoot. So it's 4-2. Go into the third period. Immediately the Kings score to make it 4-3. They had a transitioning penalty kill the Coyotes did from the second into the third. And the moment the Coyotes player stepped on the ice to finish the penalty, the Kings score. It was all Kings again this third period, and they make it 4-4. You just knew it was coming. It wasn't an if, it was, okay, when are the LA Kings going to score? They make it 4-4, and that sort of started to wake up the Coyotes and start to play better finally. It was like 8 minutes left in the game, and I thought, you know what, the Coyotes will probably hang on, move into overtime, and lose. They had a couple good shots. They had one shot 10 minutes into the third period, and then 6 shots the 10 minutes late into the game. Dursey to Kerfoot had a good chance in tight. And then there was a couple other good chances the Coyotes had. And then the last 3 minutes, it was a Drew Doughty show where he had a shot off the post. He was circling all around the offensive zone of the Coyotes. And then he one-times it to make it 5-4. And then that was the end of the game. Pretty rough game to watch because you were so exhilarated watching the first 9 minutes of the game and thinking, here we go, the new Coyotes, Mullett Arena, Mullett Magic. It was all going good for them, but the Kings are just they're so much the better team here. And they're not even like an elite team like Vegas or the Avalanche or whoever in the East, Boston, maybe the Leafs, Carolina. I know they're a bit struggling a bit, but they're just a really good, solid team, and maybe the Coyotes could learn from that. It's like the Kings aren't elite. They have pretty weak goaltending. Their defense is underrated, but their offense is good. It's deep. They're big. They're heavy, but they could play that speed, style, creativity game as well with Byfield and Fiala. It's just they play the hockey the hard way, and the Coyotes are seem to be going away from that. The Coyotes used to be good at that when they had no skill in their lineup. Now that they have skill in their lineup, they're moving away from it, and I know that's not Bill Armstrong hockey because he's built this team to be heavy and hard to play against and competitive, but that was just a really poor showing. Face-offs, 49%, 0 for 2 on the power play. Maybe could have used a power play goal tonight. Not too bad on the penalty kill, 4 for 5 they killed. Outshot 39-23. You gotta get close to 30 in those shots. But a tale of 2 games. If one game was 9 minutes long and the other one was whatever you want to call it, 51 minutes long. Hopefully it's just a case of facing a really good team in the Kings, and the Coyotes will play better against other teams. They got Chicago coming in Monday night. Going to be the Bedard versus Cooley show. And we'll just see what happens there. The Coyotes need a reset, and the mojo's not really with the team right now. What's that? Back-to-back losses against LA, pretty rough losses, a flurry of goals in the road game, and then choking away a 4-1 lead and losing 5-4 in regulation. So it's a bit rough right now, but hopefully they overcome it. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word, and as always, thank you for your support.